Hey family, welcome back to my channel. I want to thank my new subscribers. You are so appreciated. Now let me tell you about a contest we're having. To be entered into the contest for a $50 Walmart gift card and jewelry, you just need to be subscribed and comment in any of my videos. The winner will be announced on March 1st during a live video. Now I just want to say before we get into the video that the views and opinions in this video are just that. They are my opinions and they are not meant to be factual, only my opinion. And in this video we're going to discuss the Watts case, what led Chris Watts to murdering his beautiful wife, Shanann, unborn baby, Nico, and his two daughters, Celeste and Bella. Now, Chris and Shanann met in 2010, and they dated 2 years before they married on November 3rd, 2012. Now, by all accounts, the marriage appeared to be solid and happy on the outside. But it seems like once Chris started to lose some weight, thanks to Shanann's help, the bigger his ego got, the bigger his head got, and the more confident Chris got. People around Chris, including Shanann, started to see changes in him. He started to dress differently. The once very quiet and shy guy now is hitting the gym and coming out of his shell. Chris was becoming so confident that he began an affair with Nicole Kessinger, whom he met at work in June 2018. Things moved quickly in their relationship, and they started to date in early July of that year. Chris' affair only lasted a month to a month and a half before he murdered his family. Police found that Nicole had been Google searching Chris Watts' name 1 year before she even met him. Now, within that 1 month affair, Chris and Nicole seemed to accomplish a lot and was somehow able to spend quite a bit of time together. Nicole Kessinger knew that he was married, and it didn't stop her from going into Shanann's home and eating her food. As a woman, how do you go into another woman's home knowing you already defiled that marriage by sleeping with her husband? You sit down at her table and eat her food. And you even go as far as to question her husband about their finances. During this affair, computer records show how Nicole frequented Shanann's Facebook page. She knew that Shanann was pregnant and that she was posting about her family and her marriage and even her pregnancy on almost a daily basis. So Nicole lied when she said she was unaware that Chris was married when she met him. Now, we're not going to go into details of the murders because we know what happened and it's heartbreaking, so we're not going to go there. But in August of 2018, Shanann, her unborn child, and her 2 baby girls were viciously murdered. We want to know why this had to happen, and any normal man having an affair, they don't usually leave the wife for the whore. Excuse my language, allegedly. But if a man is so miserable, they usually just leave. Marriages that don't have any prior abuse history, they usually leave like many men or women do. They leave their families. They don't kill them. It does happen, but it's more likely to, that they just walk out. Now, after the murders, the police already somehow knew about the affair. I'm thinking she must have got word that the police knew about her, so she went into the police department, but not before trying to cover her bases. Now, this is just my opinion and just a theory. Could it be that the officer or the investigator who questioned Nicole, could the officer have already known Nicole's father? And maybe the investigator got a hold of her father and told him that they were aware of the affair and maybe just bring her in for questioning. We'll go easy on her. Because during the first interview between Nicole and the investigator, Nicole's dad was present, and the officer and Nicole's dad was on a first name basis and talking like they knew each other. The investigator took it so easy on her, despite the fact that Nicole was basically stalking Shanann's Facebook page, even though their relationship was only a month or so old. Police discovered wedding dress shopping along with phrases like marrying your mistress and man I'm having an affair with says he will leave his wife in her Google search history. Weren't they curious as to why she Googled his name a year before she met him? Could she have saw him somewhere out, like maybe one of the functions they go to for Thrive, or maybe she saw this family on the face. I mean, they are a social family. Maybe she saw him out somewhere and, a year before she acted out. Maybe because I'm thinking that she was aware of Chris Watts a year before she even met him, because she Googled his name. Then somehow it's just too convenient that she ended up getting employed at the same company he works at. So weren't the police interested when the morning of the murders, a neighbor saw a truck similar to the one Nicole owned outside the Watts home? At that time, Nicole's phone pinged at the tower in Frederick, where the Watts family home was. Nicole lived in a town that was 25 minutes away. Why was she there? I mean, isn't this enough evidence to at least get her as an accomplice? Nicole tried to destroy her SIMS card before giving her phone to investigators. She deleted text and photos of Watts, and her search history shows her looking to see if the cops would be able to read her deleted messages. Phone records prove that Chris and Nicole were in close contact the night before, the morning of, and the day following the murders. A text sent to Chris from Nicole says, "I want to be a part of it. Being in your life is something I crave." I mean, what is she saying she wants to be a part of? When she says, "I want to be a part of it." I mean, she can't be talking about, "I want to be a part of your life." Chris Watts himself has made statements that Nicole was into dark things. He stated that he felt like he was demon possessed when he killed his family. Chris feels like he had a break in reality, like he snapped, like he was demon possessed. Now, I'm going to tell you what I think happened. Then I'm going to tell you why I think it resulted in the murder of his family and why he did it. Everything I'm about to say is, like I said, it's just my opinion and it's alleged. I think Chris Watts was happy in his marriage. I believe he loved Shanann and the kids. And when Chris started losing weight, his confidence spiked and he got into this affair to boost his ego, like a lot of men do when they make changes in their life. They get this kind of ego. I think in the beginning of the affair, he had no real intentions of leaving Shanann for Nicole. For Nicole's part, I believe she spotted Chris one day either at a public event or online. She saw his family and his life. I believe she wanted that. I believe she wanted that life. I believe she watched that family and stalked Chris, even looking him up on Google search, even a year before they met for the first time. When she even got a job at his employment in order to get closer to him, is what I believe. You know, what a coincidence. She was looking into Shanann's Facebook and Google searched Chris Watts' name a year before getting hired at his company. I think for Chris, she was just a fling. He was feeling good about himself. And during the course of this month and a half long affair, I believe Chris witnessed her dabbling into some kind of demonic, dark witchcraft. She was into stones, because he did say that she was into dark things. I think Nicole knew Chris had a quiet and shy side to him, and I believe she knew how to push him and bully him into doing what she says. She knew how to get inside his mind and condition him. She used guilt and played the victim when arguing with him. How she will never have first with him, but she did want to have his first son. Even though Shanann was pregnant with their son. I believe over this month and a half, she hovered over him like flies on crap, barely giving him room to breathe. And on top of him since the beginning to leave his wife. Every time she looked on Shanann's Facebook page, she must have became so furious over Shanann's posting happy photos and pregnancy pictures. And it caused her to confront and argue with Chris. Maybe she put it in his head that they could just be together if it weren't for his family. Could Chris Watts have maybe dabbled in some of the same witchcraft that Nicole was into, which could have opened the door to demonic entities or some kind of possession? I believe she was able to gain so much control over him during this short span of time that he was willing to do anything for her. I believe, in my opinion, that they plotted the murders together. I believe that when Chris used the credit card while on a date with Nicole, that is when they already knew what was going to happen, and they both probably just laughed while using that credit card. That's the moment I think Shanann knew once and for all in her heart of hearts that he was having an affair. The amount he charged was too much, and even Shanann questioned him. The morning of the murders, Nicole was nearby. Even her phone pinged at a neighbor, and a neighbor said that she saw a truck around the house that morning that looked like Nicole's truck. I think she followed him to the work site after the murders, and I think she helped him get rid of the bodies. I think it's possible that allegedly she killed the girls while maybe he killed Shanann. I mean, wasn't one of her stones or some kind of thing that she used in her little witchcraft, wasn't it found near one of the girls' beds, or one of the girls' pillows? Either way, I believe she helped to get rid of the bodies. When Chris failed the polygraph test, he didn't want the death penalty, I'm sure, so he admitted to the murders. He told different stories, but he admitted to it in order to avoid the death penalty. He will go to his grave protecting Nicole. She still, it seems like, has some kind of hold over him, even in prison. He truly believes she's writing to him anonymously, or at least at one point she thought he was. Maybe he still believes that. I don't know. Maybe she told him during the course of them planning this, allegedly, that, if somehow he gets caught, she'll find a way to write or see him. Who knows? The moment he confessed, it stopped the investigation. I think the investigator, who knows Nicole's father, was quick to want that case closed. I think his investigation was leading to evidence against Nicole. Does anyone know who or if Nicole has friends? Do they ever speak out? I haven't seen anyone really speak out or for against her. Who is her family? Is she in the witness protection program? If so, why? She never testified against anyone. She was even suggesting in one of her police interviews how she wanted to go into witness protection, as if you're an important person. I don't believe she was getting any threats at that time because no one knows anything about her. Sure, people don't like her, but she wasn't getting threats. Did an investigator help her hide with her new identity so she could be safe of future charges, maybe, being brought against her? I believe the investigator did everything he could to protect her. Now, I told you what I think happened. Now I'm going to tell you why I think he murdered his family. Chris Watts himself told you why he murdered his family. He was under demonic possession. Why would you go as far as to say his actions were evil? I would say so. I would say that evil was very much involved. No one can murder a wife or child while looking them in the face if you're not under some kind of evil possession or spell. I mean, let's stop letting these doctors and psychiatrists tell you that sociopath or psychopath, that when you're born pure. If throughout your life you turn into a sociopath or psychopath, it's because you're under demonic influence. When you can kill especially one of your own children and not feel empathy, it's something evil, period. It's not a mental condition. Somewhere, along the lines after your birth, you open the door somewhere in your life for demonic influence to take over. You open the door for that. And if you're born this way, it's called a generational curse demon. And those are the worst. So if you're born, okay, and, here you're, the mom and the parents are wondering, why is little Susie choking the cat? Or why is this child argumentative all the time, non-stop? And then you can see when you look in that child's eyes that they're void. That's a generational curse. It's not somebody that was born with a mental issue. Okay? Now, you can look it up if you want to. It's called generational curses. It's not that a child is born with mental issues. That would have to be a totally different topic for a whole different day. A lot of people may accept this or believe it or may not believe it, but you heard it for yourself out of the horse's mouth. Chris Watts told you exactly why he did what he did. It wasn't just because he had an affair, he wanted to be with this woman. No, this woman had some kind of dark hold over him. That's what he told you. That she had some kind of hold over him, and it was dark. Chris Watts, and I'm not excusing anything he did, because he deserves everything he's getting right now. You committed a crime, you need to do the time. But Chris Watts is extremely passive. And in any normal situation where there's an affair, it's normal for the side piece to go into hissy fits. Okay? It's normal for the other woman to say, hey, I want you to leave your wife. And of course the man, usually he doesn't do that. But he was basically stuck in the middle of two strong-willed women. What's not normal is how the side piece literally wanted the life of the wife to the point that I believe she targeted and stalked this family almost a year before she made her move. I definitely believe she used dark forces to her advantage. If this is the case, Chris Watts likely dabbled into the darkness, into this darkness to the point where he opened the door for anything to come in. Shanann was seeing all these changes in her husband. She was seeing changes that both scared and upset her. Now we're hearing that Chris Watts wants out. Do I think that will happen? Heck no. Nor should he. Now, this C5 appeal talk that is going around, it's not going to happen because he's going to have to tell some things that I don't believe he's willing or will ever tell. He will never tell how he got the Oxycontin or what part Nicole played in this. He himself said he will take it to his grave, and, basically that's selfish. Shanann's family deserves to know exactly what happened and to somehow try to find some peace. We know Chris has stated he doesn't know why he just didn't divorce Shanann, and that Nicole had such a hold on him. He stated he saw some things in Nicole's apartment, some dark things, and the things they did in the apartment, he will never tell. He said he used to pray every morning on his way to work. But even that stopped. He believed he got off track by this darkness. It does appear that Chris found God while in prison. And now, I don't really know if he has truly repented and feels even bad for what he did. I hope so. But he needs to stay in prison and pay for his crime. This story tore America to its core. We couldn't understand why or how this happened. We just can't seem to get those beautiful girl smiles out of our head. And the anger and hatred we feel for Chris and Nicole out of our hearts. As Christians, we know how this hatred can eat at us, so somehow we have to forgive for our own well-being. I hope Shanann's family is able to somehow find some peace. It's such a tragic story, and we just have to accept that we will never fully know the whole story. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video. That way you'll be entered into the contest for the $50 Walmart gift card and the jewelry piece from my jewelry business. And again, the drawing will be held on March 1st.